Hi everyone, my name's Linda and I'm going to give you my top 5 most challenging aspects of being a parent. This isn't in any kind of order, by the way. The first one would be coping with being a lone parent and just realising that I was going to be the primary role model in my son's life. Not solely, but essentially the one who would have the biggest impression or influence, should I say, on him. And that was and still is a scary thing for me because, especially when I first had my son, I had him quite young. So I was still at a stage where I was still trying to find who I was, still trying to find myself, trying to get my life in order. And so how was I going to teach this little person all the things I wanted him to learn when I was still all over the place? I was still trying to find myself. But I think seeing my son happy, healthy, and constantly smiling was a constant reminder of what a great job I was doing and what a great job I have done so far. The second one would be learning how to be selfless. And to be fair, this isn't a major challenge, but it still is one kind of for me. And it's true what they say, when you do have your child, you do instantly kind of have this feeling of selflessness. You know, you learn not to be selfish as soon as you have your child. You know, you want to give them everything you have and more. But there are those times, or for me, I don't know about anybody else or any other parent out there, for me, I still do want those times to myself. Okay, so I have a confession. Let me just be honest now. So every now and again, for some time now, I would wait for my son to go to bed before I enjoyed a really nice piece of chocolate or ice cream or really luxurious rich chocolate cake or something that, you know, a child's palate can't really, you know, appreciate. Maybe that's just my way of justifying it, but I would wait until he goes to sleep before I had it to myself. And I remember asking one of my friends, she's also a mother too, does this make me a bad parent? Because I actually did feel really guilty about it. And she was like, no, I do the same as well. So that kind of made me, you know, breathe a sigh of relief. But I think you're constantly giving to your child or your toddler, which is, and I'm not trying to, you know, encourage any parent to be selfish with their child or not give to their child, but you're constantly giving, that you cherish those mummy times, those times where you know, you have yourself to yourself, you have your alone time and you just want to enjoy something really nice by yourself without having to share it. Second thing I think would be losing my independence, and I think a lot of parents can probably relate to this. Not being able to go out with friends when I wanted to, or just go to the shop when I wanted to, or just do what I want when I wanted to, or wake up when I wanted to, or sleep when I wanted to. That was really, really hard. That was probably one of the biggest changes I had becoming a mother. And I only really trusted 2 people at the time with my son to babysit, and so that really limited my, you know, chances of having a free babysitter so I could go out. And so it was hard. I didn't really go out as much as I wanted to. I had a really nice circle of friends that I wanted to engage with frequently, but I couldn't because some of them didn't have kids, and so we couldn't engage in activities that included kids, and so it was really, really difficult. But how I dealt with it was just, to be fair, just looking at the positives and embracing my motherhood. And it is a beautiful thing, to be fair. And I'd rather now spend that time with my son than spend it going out partying, doing the same thing over and over again, listening to the same music, being in the same atmosphere. That's not to say I don't enjoy going out, but I've just learned how to deal with it. You know, it's been so many years now. So yeah, just embrace your motherhood and your parenthood. Fourth thing I think would be dating. I found that challenging, and I'm sure other parents find it challenging as well. And that's because it's not just about you no more, it's about your child. You know, your child's your number one priority. And when it came to me looking for somebody new, I didn't rush. That's how I dealt with it. I didn't rush. I waited for the right time, because that person didn't just have to be compatible for me, they had to be compatible for my child as well. I had to put my child's needs before mine and see how that person could fit into what we already had. See if they would be a good role model for my child. So it is difficult, I would say, because you're not just thinking about yourself and thinking about your child as well. But that's okay. You don't need to rush. The right person will come at the right time. But also don't be so hard on yourself. It's all right for you to go on a couple of dates, but yeah, putting your child's needs into consideration means that you're not going to have any Tom, Dick and Harry coming in and out of your life and your child's life. And so you're just safeguarding your child and taking the necessary precautions before rushing into a relationship. You don't need to rush. Fifth thing would be financial commitments. I think this is an ongoing challenge for everybody, to be fair. Having the cost of raising a child will forever be difficult, and I still find it challenging because you're not just financially providing for your child for the now, you're also setting them up for their future and trying to save towards their future and invest into their future. And how do you do that in this day and age where bus pass costs an arm and a leg, you know? And I think for me, what I did was I had to sacrifice. I just had to sacrifice and save. Since he's been born, I've been saving a little bit every single month for up to now. And every little does really count, and it does slowly accumulate. And it's hard. You have to kind of put aside your wants and put your child's needs first again, really, to be fair. And that's okay, to be fair. It's not necessary that I have nice things, I suppose. So yeah, those are my top 5 most challenging things as being a parent.